You are now watching MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. Chill! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman. Hope all is well. And on this episode, we do have a special guest. We got my bro, Mr. Aaron Sand for the Premier Boy Podcast. Shot by Sands, and he got another project that what he gonna talk about when we interview him. By the way, this is the first exclusive YouTube interview for the MrGentleman Like That Podcast TV. So yeah, because this is the first interview that we're not on, it's only on YouTube. So yeah, so you already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, on episode 5 of the MrGentleman Like That Podcast TV, we have our special guest. Y'all already know he is a pretty much family to the MrGentleman Like That Podcast brand already. He do the wrestling prediction with me. He also a host of the Premier Boy Podcast. He my brother, my business partner. A YPG. He got a business called Shop by Sands, and he got a new project he go to talk about today. We got the bro, Mr. Aaron Sands, on the show. Mr. Aaron Sands, welcome to the show, man.
I'm already late for all this shit real quick. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get out of the pregnant pause real quick. But what's going on with y'all? What's going on, world? You already know this is Aaron Sands out here, Mr. YPG himself, Mr. Aaron Sands, you host 1/4 host of the Premier Boy Podcast, wrestling connoisseur, Mr. Steal Your Girl, if you let him. All that good shit. What's going on, Ken?
Yes. How you been, bro? Welcome to the show. Welcome. We all know he's pretty much a familiar face to the show. Well, familiar voice to the show. This time we got the face to match. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't do this face shit, honestly. I usually don't. There's usually like comments, and like if you watch the Premier Boy Podcast, which is coming back season 2 sometime in February.
Yes.
If you watch that, like there's times that I will show my face, and there's times where I'm like, nah, fuck out of here, no face, no cake, Sam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes down to that, it's like it depends on what I'm in the mood for at the time we're shooting.
Yes, that's facts.
So for me, I'm like, all right, today is the virtual thing. We're doing this for YouTube TV, So I might as well, pop out real quick, see what's going on.
Yeah, so let's do this, bro. Let them know that where are you from?
Well, originally I'm from Brooklyn. Shout out to Fort Greene. We out here all day, every day. Right now I'm residing in Poughkeepsie. Trying to stay safe from the virus and everything. And I just like the peace and quiet. I like the noise. Me coming from the city, I like the noise, but I just don't like it at my doorstep. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. Shout out to all my Poughkeepsie followers. You already know what it is. You already know the vibes. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Speaking of the virus, like how had the pandemic been for you? Let's start with that.
Well, if you're talking about the pandemic, it put me out of my main job for about like 7 months. It really sat me down, and it changed a lot of how I seen certain things. You know what I'm saying? How I seen relationships, how I seen how we get money, how we grind. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people when it came down to it came down to like promoting, which is what we were doing prior to pandemic. Facts, and that shit was just completely shut out from under us. It was tough. So we had to do certain things to still, keep our name out there and keep things moving. That way, even if we decided to come back or not, we knew that, you couldn't not see us.
Facts.
It's like you can't see us. You see we're here. Literally we're here now. So that was a big thing. In terms of relationship wise, me personally, and Ken, this more than anybody. I'm kind of a wild fucking dude. Put it out there, but the problem with that was it strained my relationship. If we could get candid here, if we can we do that here on this This TV version of the pod.
Different than the regular show. Yeah. I don't mind.
All right, cool. I almost lost my relationship in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a sense of me having to look at myself and had to sit there and reflect on myself. I was home most of the time. Girl, she was at work. She still works. She was an essential worker. Shout out to all the essential workers.
Facts. Agree.
I wasn't so essential. You know what I'm saying? So I was at home, and then at the time of me being home, I had to really look at myself and be like, what am I doing? How can I fix this the best way I know how? So between a trip to Jamaica and going through this whole pandemic quarantine vibes, and you can hear a lot about that also on the Premier Boyz podcast. Check us out on all streaming platforms, and even now on Audible.
Yeah, we just got added over. We're gonna talk about the Premier Boyz podcast a little later. We're gonna talk about that a little later.
It led me to be like, all right, I have to change up certain things of myself if I want like a healthy, successful relationship, because I feel like that's what we want.
Yes.
So, I had to do things different. I had to stop, being a flirty guy on the gram. I had to stop being a OD flirty friendly guy in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, me not being in the clubs in damn near a year helps.
Facts does.
But you also have other temptations and stuff that goes on, and I had to be better than that. So that the pandemic helped with that. So that was a really big step. It sucks that you don't get to see a lot of people that you like to during this pandemic because of you had to be 6 feet away, and everything was different. My birthday celebrations was different this year. It was still lit, but it was different. So a lot of that came from us having to see the situation that's placed at our tables and how we're gonna maneuver to make the best of it for us.
Yes, agree. And as long as everybody's safe, as long as you safe, bro. We've been working, we've been doing this pocket thing all through the pandemic. So
I'm pretty sure once this thing gets better, people start getting their shots and everything like that, getting vaccinated, and there's a better stretch of time where the virus isn't holding us back from what we used to do. I think we're still definitely going to be out here. This is just a quarantine thing. This is a real situation.
Yeah, facts. So, how long have we known each other? Almost 20 years, right?
Give or take, give or take 3 years. It's been mad 20, long.
Almost, I think next year we'll make 20 years since we met. So speaking of
that's
that,
facts. It's 2022.
Yeah, next year,
2002 and shit. So that would seem like 20 years. That's a big fucking step.
That is a big step. So if you can remember, how did we meet? How did we meet? Let's see if you remember.
This is what happens when you smoke way too much weed.
I mean, if you can't remember, I could recall what happened.
I remember some parts. I remember some parts though. And I met each and every one of y'all separately, but then I met the next person due to the first person.
Facts.
At the time, and I ain't afraid to talk about this because it's part of where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? I kind of was a little bit of a punk back in high school. You feel me? I wasn't really like the stand up for yourself, you know what I'm saying, type guy. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bit of a pushover. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about friends, the first person I met out of the trifecta was Germs.
It's funny because you're not the only one. I'm funny because I met Germ first too. That's the funny thing. Oddly enough, we go continue. We go.
I can honestly say because you met him first, and then I met him first. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty much the conduit between all of us meeting because you all met him.
Yeah,
it plays a pivotal role in that. So I met him in the living environment, and at the time, bringing back to my whole punk situation, people kept throwing paper balls at me. You know what I'm saying? And I got tired, kept throwing it back at him. Right? Germ's seen this, and he'll tell you the story too. He started throwing paper balls at me, and he told me he did because he thought it was, quote, the cool thing to do because he seen everybody else do it. And I was like, yo, you ain't shit, my nigga. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But we became cool after that. We chopped it up for a little bit. We worked on a project in the living environment. chopped it up and came cool. What I didn't know is he also had government class with me too.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you, because we all had government class.
Government class together, yeah.
You know? So that was the thing. And I was like, all right, this guy's cool. You know, we got to work in groups of 4. Lee was there too. Shout out to Lee, wherever you at.
Oh, word, fact, Lee, man.
You know? And we just sat there. We was like, I bet I was going to sit with y'all because I know you from earlier, but you see my 8. And I guess I'll just get to know the rest of y'all, and then we'll see where it's hitting for. So we did. And then we hit lunch, because lunch was after government at the time. And what happened was we all played Crazy Eights, and you like eating cake, you know. It was, and I'm not mad about it. It's just how it went down, you know.
I know people the same story. You know, Jern was in my 11th environment class. After when the second day of school, I met Jern. He was making really not funny jokes, but I laughed just because I didn't know anything. So I had to laugh. And then me and Jern became cool after that. But then they transferred Jern out. I guess they put him in your class. And then Ali that transferred me out of whatever class I was in and put me in the government class. It was crazy how all that came full circle. And then we went to lunch, and then he seen you. And I'm like, you know what? He just said, let's sit right here and talk to him out there. Like, cool. And then that's how we been friends. And that's crazy how all of that came together, all because of germs. You know, that's crazy.
So it's like, you know, you in the lunchroom or whatever, and you're like, all right, it's like in the movies where you don't know where you could sit. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to figure out where you could sit in the lunchroom or whatever like that. Like, for me, you know, I was sitting with people that unbeknownst to me, or I didn't care to figure out at the time, they wasn't really fucking with me so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I was like, damn, yo, so where am I gonna find, you know, am I supposed to be finding friends in the lunchroom, or should I just be focusing on my school shit and just doing what I gotta do from there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just trash, whatever. So I see y'all got switched. I guess when y'all switched over y'all programs, I guess y'all had lunch there as well, because I seen y'all at lunch too. So I was like, oh shit. All right, cool. We could go, you know, we do this lunch shit. So
fact. It was crazy how all of it came together. 1, through germs, and 2, through the fact that they changed our lunch periods. And
shout out to what programming that role, because y'all didn't know what y'all were setting up. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And not just with us, but with other people. Y'all didn't know y'all was setting up lifetime friendships with people because of just the way shit was situated. You know what I'm saying?
That's the crazy part. But one thing I want to say before we change, but the before we change topic is, like, when I switched lunch period, y'all had the most baddest teddies, and y'all.
It was. Ain't no period like 7th period. And I was all the way through high school.
Fact.
5th, like 6th, 7th period was like the baddie lunch hour.
It was.
You know? Because you had the little baddies in there. Then you even came down, some of the baddie teachers was pulled up there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a lot of shit. So yeah, that's where it was. That's where it was at between 6th and 7th period, though.
Yeah. Shout out to your business class, man. Shout out to the business side of things, man. But yeah, you're right. We've been friends for almost 20. Next year will be 20 years, son. That is crazy.
We need to do a trip. Honestly,
for real. I agree. So me and you and Johnson, me and you and Johnson, I agree.
COVID protocols will change it up a little bit, make it more a little lax, but we need to do a trip like that ass.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, this friendship, you know, through high school, we started doing groups. We started a thing with Mixed Masters where we sell CDs and taste out our lockers and stuff like that.
That was a big thing for me. You gotta give a shout out to LimeWire with that too, because that's where I actually stuff from. You know, my stuff came from LimeWire and everything. You know, I used to be buying CDs at the swap meet over by Albany Avenue before they turn it down and turn it into something else.
But every Friday, son. Every Friday, man.
I cut Spanish class loyally. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. When it came down to it, when I was doing that, I was like, all right, maybe I can make some of these shits myself. You know, it wouldn't be that hard. So that's what I did. I started making different types of tracks. I made old school CDs. I made up-to-date CDs. I made reggae CDs, soca CDs. Basically anything that could get people dancing and shit. It got to the point where they were asking me for my CD player because they knew what I was listening to.
Facts. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And you know me, I was the oddboard out. You know, I was creating cassette tapes, and luckily enough, people was buying those too. So like, okay, so I made a little start on the cassette tapes. I know I try to be the odd man out, but people still loving it.
I mean, yeah, but at that time we were getting like MP3s. Like my shit had,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to keep that in mind.
Facts.
You know, at that point, everybody was doing like the CD players and stuff. I knew I got into fights just for my CD player because of that shit. How bad it was. So I was like, fuck it. I think I paid for it, you know?
That's
and
crazy.
Was, you know? So that was a big thing for us. That really, like I said before, like in high school, everybody want to be known for something.
Yeah.
You know? If you were the funny dude, the smart dude, the hallway dude, you know, shit like that. You want to be known for something. So I figured that was a way. At that time, I was like, that was the way.
Yeah, and then a year later, we created something called Blaze of Glory. You know, how did we come up with that? How did you come up with that Blaze of Glory, man?
Shout out to Pharrell and them to come up with the track that did it. You know,
Fact. Blaze of Glory. Neptune present the clone. That was my first CD I brought, by the way, too.
I ain't gonna hold you though. That and Quicksilver were names I will never use now.
Nah, me either.
But it was like it was names that if I put it on a piece of paper, that shit sounded fire. You know what I'm saying?
It was hot back then. It was hot back then.
Word. And the crazy part about it, and I was telling my girls the other night, I was like, yo, you were like called Blaze of Glory back then, right? I was the only one who was smoking. Like,
that's true.
The only one who was smoking in the whole group at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was so for me personally, that hit. So I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, let's go with Blaze of Glory. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It was great. So that was a big thing, you know, and that in itself got us a little bit more known. But I always felt like people, even though no matter what we did or how we did it, because we were just doing the shit just to be us, you know, just be ourselves. But people be like, oh, no matter, because it was us, they ain't fuck with it. You got everybody who coming up with weird ass groups just to do it, to be them. And here comes little old us trying to, you know, do something positive with our shit. And because it's us, they ain't fuck with it. It's basically kind of how people feel about AEW.
And speaking of that, remember the yearbook competition? We got robbed. We got robbed in the yearbook competition. They was yeah.
That's what it was. We won the first couple rounds. They had to do a recount. They see, unlike Trump, we actually win our recounts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it was. And I loved every minute of it because it was like, I bet, yeah, you could run the shit back 2-3 times, but you can't deny the force that we bring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it holds true till today. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is.
Yeah, and that was crazy, yo. Like, yeah, we won that competition and we got screwed, but it is what it is. We did our thing. So
yeah, at this point, you're like, you can't give a fuck about what people move. Like I said before, like I said a while back, if you would have caught me with this at 15, 16, you would have got me. I'd be like, oh my God, why they don't care? They just don't care. It's a lot. Oh my, I don't care. I'm 32 now, you know? I a full fuck what people think. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be the best me that we can be, and in turn, we're gonna be the best us as a collective that we can be because it's us, and that's just how we move.
Yeah, son, and let's talk about how we brought Alvin to Blaze of Glory.
All right, so there's a thing with Alvin, right? And I probably never told him this, and I don't know why, but I always felt like he was like a little bro to me. You know what I'm saying? Because he kind of had like the same at the time when I met him. He kind of had like the same ambitions I had, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And he was more of a grind. I would say this though. He was, and I was, for the most part, is more of a grinder than I am. You know, I get comfortable real quick doing some good shit, doing great shit. He'll do great shit, right? And then he'll be like, how can we do it better? And for me, I feel like we needed somebody like that in our circle anyway, because
I agree.
That was like the one piece that was really, missing, from the whole thing. We was all good as a collective anyway, you know what I'm saying, going into this. But with him, it's like, it was like just the added, it was an added bonus.
The missing piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. And that made it more, that made this whole transition more seamless,
Yeah.
So when it came to that, it started from us doing music with that, him doing music and working with him on music and everything like that, to even him joining the same business classes that I was in, you know what I'm saying? Doing big things like that. So I really like, when I looked at him, I was like, I bet, he's doing his thing. But, I felt like he was like younger me, you know what I'm saying? Because he was, the way he was moving, that's what I was doing at that same place. We was on the same path.
Yeah, and he would keep killing it. But also, as we added him, we was on a mixtape for Robeson. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that too much. But then thought,
I was on the mixtape for Robeson. I was doing my own shit. Y'all did that shit. I was like, all right, that's cool. Y'all didn't kick me off the mixtape, but management at the time, they kicked me off the mixtape. Honestly, I told a girl to ride, do a split on a dick. You know what I'm saying? Basically telling girls to do what they're basically doing now. You know what I'm saying? Take a split on the dick. But apparently you can't put that on a school mixtape. So.
You can.
I got silly, right? Telling the girl to do a split on a dick.
Yeah. But of course, as time went on, we started evolving, so we changed our whole brand to the blazeup clique. And how you feel about that? How you feel about that transition?
I was so hype about that transition because I was still smoking at the time. So I feel like that shit still fits. Hey, we lit. Hey, we lit. It's the blazeup clique. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So that put us more. I was like, all right, bet we're getting out the whole blaze of glory phase. We a group. More like a clique.
Yeah.
You're talking about blaze of glory. We're gonna keep that name. We're still those guys, but it's a different type of vibe. So that was.
And so we started adding people. We added a dude called Righty Rod, aka DJ Retro. He wasn't DJ Retro yet, but we added Righty Rod to the team, and
that's your brother.
He's not my brother, but he did somebody who always looked up to me for a very, very long time, son. And
kind of sounds like a brother.
I guess.
Like if I had a brother, like he'll be probably looking up to me. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got people that is older than me that looks up to me. Don't know why.
I don't understand that either, son. I don't understand that either, son. That's just foolishness.
It's crazy. Like, all right, good luck. Cheers. We did it. But yes, that's your bro, and it's okay because it's your bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know stuff he's doing now. He used to be hungrier back in the day, but stuff he's doing now, I don't understand it. We're gonna get more to that later. But
you taught him that too? I heard the podcast.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. We go to
hey, like that's what we doing. Oh, all right.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that when we get to the premiere podcast. But yeah, and we started branding. We started adding more people, but and we started getting, we started hitting streets. We started hitting the streets and stuff like that. We started killing it, But the one thing that got to me that we were not making music. People were asking, where was the music? Where was the music? And
I feel like they were asking you where was the music, where was music. They were asking us where was the turn up. You know what I'm saying? When we turning up, when we hitting 42nd, when we having a blaze up night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I got more of that. So when you told me about, where is the music? I'm like, I don't know, but I know we turning up Saturday. Like, what you trying? Are you mean at your house or Germ's house or what? What we doing?
Yeah. And, and at the time, some people felt some way behind that. They thought that I was being a dictator when I was trying to get to what the main point of the team in the first place,
And I understand. Like, here's the thing: looking back at the situation, right? And that mindset, I could understand why people were saying you were being a dictator, you know, because nobody was hearing the same things you were hearing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just hearing about turning up, me included. So I'm like, I talking about turning up. We just a turn up squad. You know what I'm saying? But nobody was really thinking about the music like that because we were just so busy doing other shit. You know? So on one end, yeah, you might sound like a dictator because, you know, we trying to turn up and you over here talking about music. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, it was me, myself, and Mally Mel. Me, and Roddy and Red Man. We wanted to work on the music.
And you got the other side, like Germs, Ty, you know, Tahim, all them boys, you know what I'm saying? Like they was, you know, you trying to turn up. Now me, I don't mind turning up, but I want to do music too. You know what I'm saying? So we could both. We could hit the studio, you know, knock out a track or two, and then go turn up afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't mind that. But the thing about it, all we were doing was turning up. That's the thing. At the time, all we were doing was turning up with no music.
A lot of turn up, so I ain't gonna.
Yeah, we didn't do music until 2010. Remind you, 2007 to 2009 with nothing but turning up. So like,
out to Z's house because after school and everything, after college or whatever, did my classes or whatever like that, and before I had to go to work with the kids and everything like that. Between that, I do classes, shoot right over to Z's house. We just chilling.
Facts.
And so I go to work.
Fact, and for all of that, we should have started being promoters early. Instead of, you know.
I could agree to that because here it is, like the fact that we were turning up and then we were having people asking when the next time we turning up in the city, next time we throwing a bash or we threw house parties in Roddy's basement.
And we will get to that. We will get to that.
You know, and for all intents and purposes, like we could have built the promotion crowd off that.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
You know, and that was a big thing. I will say, for at least for my purposes, honestly, I did a lot more turning up between 2007 2010. Deadass. I did a lot more turning up than I should have been doing, you know?
Yeah.
Big thing.
Yeah. But, you know, all turn up wasn't so bad. You know, 2009, we started the bashment. Which was slowly transition from what we were doing, you know.
You were slowly getting into the promoter phase with that shit. And what it was that it was like, all right, you know, we're going to do the bashment, just to throw a party, you know what I'm saying, and see what it's hitting for.
Yeah, just because we really think about being promoters yet, but it was just, I just want to throw a party.
But the thing was, the turnout was so crazy.
Yeah.
It, you know, it made it look like, all right, you know, maybe we should. But even then, we didn't really take OD serious like that, honestly.
Yeah.
It got to the point like we was just doing like a lot of shit free food, free drinks.
Basically, yeah.
We had a little bar situation. That shit was killed in like an hour.
And that's bad. And the bad thing about it was we were serving drinks to people who were under 21. Because at the time, everybody was not 21 at the time with first bashment.
I can't comment on anything like that in an effort to myself. So I'm not going to comment on who drank what at what event. All I know was I was there and I had a good time, but I'm not saying who served who or what, nor will be responsible of who got drunk or who ran down the block yelling fuck. You're not gonna DJ flag this situation. You ain't gonna have me incriminate myself on and then locked up for some shit that happened down in 2007. I will not.
Well, 2009.
See, there you go. Whatever. Nope.
But we had a good time. We had a good time.
I had a good time though.
We had a good time. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, put me in that mix.
Yeah, but you know, for the first one, it was successful, but it was a big successful until the second one, which was 2010.
The second one was like just unorganized chaos. You know what I'm saying?
It was
weird shit. We had Crips and Bloods in that shit. Though. I could say that though. We had Crips in that same basement on separate sides of the basement. And I got drinks and shit, right? And I'm like, bro, who the fuck authorized a red light and a blue light, and all our people on the back with the green light is to show neutrality. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yo. It was that was so much weird vibes on that night.
Attention with a knife in there. You feel me?
Yeah, everybody was getting acting like stocks that night.
It was shit, man. It was wild. We were some wild, crazy kids. Cops called. I go. The crazy part about it was my birthday. That was
your birthday, yeah.
Birthday party, and for me, we had the cake and everything like that, you know. And then I forgot the cake, and I got smacked, and I was like, "Fuck, I forgot the cake." I had to go to Roddy's house the next day. Skit said, and I got it, and I talked to him for like about 20 minutes. Like, it was nothing crazy. He was like, "Yo, we can't throw no more parties in this fucking basement no more."
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was with a fight.
He away for like about a good month and a half. You know what I'm saying? But he calmed down. He was cool again, and everything was all right.
Yeah.
But part of it, like the bashment idea was dead.
Yeah.
For a good minute.
For a long while, yeah.
But in the midst of all that, we actually started to promote a little bit.
Well, a little before that, we released the Teddy Overload, and then they got played on many stations and stuff like that. Around the same year, on the same year.
On 7 and 105, we definitely got played there. You know, I know that for a fact. That was a big thing, you know, because you know that was that was the track. If we had any track, that was the track that we were going to put out for that would be our ace in the verses.
Yeah,
but our last like 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
But that would be it. That would be the first track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for us.
Yeah, even to this day, people do talk about that song, son.
Yeah, man, it's a big thing. I don't like, and it's weird because it's like me personally. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be doing like 18 different things now. You're here still talking about Teddy Overload.
Facts, right?
Don't know why, but you know, that's just what it is, and I appreciate it. You know, it is what it is. But you know,
yeah, I mean, people still appreciate the song. Shockingly enough, before I guess, for a time, and the thing about how it was created was funny though. I just want to bring this short story real quick. How it was created was funny when us three, you, me, and Jerm was in Eastern Parkway. We were walking, chilling. Jerm randomly rapping.
Well, you also got to think about it like this though too. That Eastern Parkway situation, you got like the Sundays. You got Eastern Parkway Sundays. And what it was that you had a lot of baddies.
A lot of baddies, man.
Parkway Sundays. And still, if you throw Eastern Parkway Sundays, you'll still get like the same yield of baddies. But for us at that time, it was just a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot. So it came down to it. I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, yo, this is a Teddy Overload. You know what I'm saying? Back then, we called baddies Teddies. I don't know how you flipped it now, but
facts, right?
We would call them Teddies. Oh, yo, all these little bad Teddies out here, Teddy Overload and shit. It's a fucking Teddy Overload. There's a lot of them.
Facts. It was though.
So Jerm started rapping, and I'm mocking myself. And honestly, the chorus came. I was just mocking myself in the way it sounded. I'm like, oh my god, it's Teddy Overload, Teddy, like Teddy Overload, Teddy Overload. So I did that, right? And Jerms was just rap it. They used spitting bars until we got to your house.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty decent walk for the most part when you're talking. You know, from Eastern Parkway to your crib. You know what I'm saying? So it is a little bit of a walk. So there was a lot of bar spit.
It was. Georgia just went in for no reason. She just went in. I'm beatboxing. My voice was hurting by the time we got back to my block.
But at like a night or two later, we were like, we should, you know,
record that. Yeah, we should record that.
Record it and then do the tape. You know what I'm saying? Put it on the tape or whatever.
Yeah.
So we got to we actually did just that. But it's actually 2 different versions of said song.
Yeah, it was 2 versions of Teddy Overload.
You know, so Germs had his version and everything like that. But there was something that went on, and I might got the story wrong on this one. But Alvin and Germs was going through their little tiff. You know, they were
Oh
going back and
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
And
They had a secret beef. They had a secret beef, I guess you could say.
and for me, I'm like, wait a minute, you know, why are we beefing? Like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And Germs got upset and he left.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. He was in the studio recording Teddy Overload his verse. I guess Alvin was getting on his nerves, and out of nowhere he just got pissed off and left the studio.
He was like, that's it. I went to go get him or whatever, you know, to see what was going on with him. And then next thing you know, he's like, nah, like, you know, like he wanted to do the verse or whatever. So I was like,
Yeah, Alvin took it. Alvin went in the
I
studio after Jerry left. He went in the studio like a savage and did that verse.
took the whole fucking verse. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. And the crazy thing about it was he killed the verse.
Yeah, he did kill the verse, man.
So that was the one we ran with going forward. And that's the one that everybody now knows and listens to.
Yeah, and you hear me, like I said, here on 107, here on Power 105, here on college stations.
It was a lot.
We performing a couple of shows, and yeah, even though doing that, even though that year we only came up with one song, we Mr. Sands produced many songs,
And that was my thing. I feel like we left a lot of that on the table.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like kind of an iffy thing. We left a lot of that stuff on the table. And what happened with it was that I could say I did like about 50 to 60 beats or whatever, right?
Yeah, he did.
And I know we left about 45 of them on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
And we had a mixtape of just my shit, just like my beats, but everybody was on it. Like we could have did that type of time, you know?
We could have, yeah. We could have, yo, like, because I want to say, like, oh, my bad, could you, son?
That was a big thing. We could have did that, you know, and my issue with it was the fact that we kind of started going into other ventures.
Yeah.
And started to slow up on the the music shit.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of left a lot of that there, you know. But the good thing about it was that how I put this, I was still making beats, like even to today, still making beats, you know. But it's not something that it's not something that is like it's not like a situation where you be like, oh, you make side hustles. Like nowadays, we treat our hobbies as side hustles.
Facts.
We're trying to make more than what we are. You know what I'm saying? But there's other things you could do just to enjoy it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I do. I make beats because I just enjoy it. I don't put it out there for public consumption, but you know, it's just something, you know, I keep in my back pocket. You know, something I do.
Yeah, but I just want to say a few things. You know, shout out to DJ Caution for Teddy Overload for making the beat for Teddy Overload. Mm-hmm. He an amazing DJ. He kill it. Made producer, kill it. Also, Mr. Sands, yo, I feel like I feel like he was behind before his time making beats. I remember when he first made his first beat, man. It was dope, but each beat he just improved and he just improved. You already know my favorite beat was Sunshine, man. That beat was fire, man.
Yeah, I started making beats. I was like 6 minutes long. And I didn't know why. I was trying to. My idea was this, right? I'll give you guys a beat, right? And I can tell you 5 things that's wrong with it before you even like off first listen. I can tell you 5 things that's wrong with it, all right? Yeah. And I'll be like, all right, fuck it. We're just gonna put it together on the next one. So I already knew what I didn't want on the next beat, and I just kind of put next beat on the next one, even though both of those beats are completely different from each other.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like it's weird. But it's weird for somebody listening on the outside, but for me, it's like, all right, I'm going to improve on this. Even though it's different, I know what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, all right, that's how I felt like every beat got progressively better. And I didn't really realize it until all after the fact when I stopped doing music. You know what I'm saying? I stopped doing music for like public consumption. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. That was one of my biggest things. If you're talking about Sunshine, at that point of me making beats, I wanted to tell a story without saying a word.
Yeah, I figured that. I definitely figured that, yo. And that beat was amazing. Like I said, one thing I regret about doing when it comes to the music, it was not putting out enough songs, going to the studio and put out enough songs.
The crazy shit about it is I got beats today that, like, with the exception of like one or two people, nobody's heard.
Oh wow.
Nobody's heard
And
them yet. Because
and
I do
crazy.
it. I do it for like just for me to for me to be like, all right, I'm okay. Especially like with this past year, me going through a lot that I went through. I went back to the thing that brought me comfort before, and
Yeah.
that was the music. Started making beats again and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with them.
Yeah, and funny thing, I do write songs. I never stopped writing songs. So yeah, who knows what's gonna happen with that? But but as we slight slip away from the music, we started getting to this is where Ken, aka MrGentleman, and Mr. Aaron Sands were officially born. When we started doing the parties and started going to parties and go to the clubs and we created RPG.
Yo, it's crazy because me going to like my first because I went to we went to clubs under 21 before. We hit
Yeah,
Tobago, a
Club
dollar
Tobacco, yeah.
party, 25-cent parties and shit like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We had you get drinks for the whole team and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts, yeah, because I was the only one 21 at the time.
yeah. So it was like, all right, fuck it. You gonna get the drinks for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the vibe was. So when I got to like my first 21 and over spot, I was like, yo, this shit gonna be lit. And it was, because I see everybody getting like the 7-day, 7-night picks, right?
Yeah.
And I got my first 7-day, 7-night pick at my first event. And I started doing, you know what I'm saying? Met up with shorties at not my first event. Started making out in sections in my first spot I was at was like lit as hell. So I kind of like, for me, like I kind of started building that situation up for myself on day one of this whole venue. You know what I'm saying?
You did. And I know for me, that was my first 21 because I used to go to events for my sister when they were promoters at the time. And I didn't. The first event when you went to, I fell asleep in the club.
I seen that. It was a lot. It was like, you watching the shit, right?
Yeah.
You watch back. It's like, all right, I gotta put it. It's like, wow, like we really did all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
For real, right? Like looking back, it's crazy.
A lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like we turned up like a lot. Like
we did.
So that was a really big thing. And it made us become promoters because it's like, all right, we can enjoy this. We could get back the crowd that we had when we were doing the bash, when we were just doing music, and then do that,
Fact. So I can tell the story about the promoters situation. We were probably going for like a very long time, from September 2009 until 2000, like I believe 2011. We were party goers. So we met this one promoter day, NYC Compton. He hit me up. He know that we would go to the spots a lot, go to the spots supporting him. One day he hit me up. He said, "Yo, Ken, I want to give you the opportunity to be a promoter." I cool. I don't mind being a promoter as long as I bring my brother with me. And that way I brought Mr. Sands with me. And I can't do this by myself. So that as long as I bring Mr. Sands with me to be a promoter as with me.
Mm-hmm. And thing, like, I appreciated that part because I was like, all right, cool. We could actually make something out of this. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the big things that we were doing, we were trying to sit there and play off the mindset of actually, being promoters and stuff coming from me doing music,
Yeah.
So that was the stage that we were trying to get into. I was like, all right, bet we can still make this into something,
Yeah. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because nightlife is completely different. But we were young boys. We were young boys. We were young boys in the nightlife promoter game, son. Not that young, but young as in experience and young as just our mindset was it. Our mindset, yeah.
It was really green in that, you know what I'm saying? Like we were trying to turn up because even though we were promoters, we were still just trying to turn up. We didn't understand the science of this shit until way later.
Way later, way later. Yeah, we would turn up, boy. We would turn up, boy. We do have that turn up mentality from blazeup clique.
Yeah.
Into the promoters like that, and it started rubbing a lot of people the wrong way because the way we were handling ourselves. We were handling ourselves as businessmen. We were handling ourselves as turn up boys.
Yeah, now it's the thing. Like, you can't go into a venue, right, and start picking up bitches, right?
Facts.
That you're still going to do business. You can't. First of all, you can't show up to the spot smacked, right?
Yeah, that's
pick
true.
Up these and then catch a 2-for-1 by 12 o'clock. Pick up a shorty at 2 o'clock. Like, literally pick her up and put her on your shoulders at 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And then
break a table
at 30, and then expect to do business and handle payouts at 3:30, 3:45.
Yeah.
After all the wild shit you just did.
Yeah, and we did a lot of that. We did a lot more turn up and less business at that time.
Yeah, especially during, I would say, for the most part, I can be honest with this, the whole time we was undercomp doing these events.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. we were.
And the weird part about it was, if we wasn't successful in doing all this turn up, that would be one thing.
Yeah.
But we was turning up and doing all this crazy shit, and it's still being consistently successful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like as many times they wanted to get rid of us, they're like, "Oh, we can't get rid of them." They killing it right now. Yeah, they're killing it. Yeah,
they hated that because it would have gave them the satisfaction to get rid of us, but
Facts.
then kept running up the score on them. We kept getting up tables. I can tell you a funny story real quick since I got you here. My birthday party was fucking lit to the point where I had about like 30, 35 people.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that day.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what it was, or what I didn't really realize, that was kind of like a, for them, right? All, like, if without the whole situation,
yeah,
it would have been a slow night.
Yeah.
But I had a gang of people coming through for the birthday, and at the same time, I booked this while I was smacked. I booked the party bus.
Oh yeah.
Trying to put all this shit together and still look regal as fuck for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say what you want. I could say this with confidence. I could throw up in my own section, fuck the whole party up, leave out of there, and then still get paid the next week for that party, and still get a bottle for that week, because even though we were doing wild annoying shit, we were still putting up numbers.
Yeah, remember my birthday too. I was smacked for the whole night. There were mad people that had birthdays as well. And yeah, that was, we killed it. We killed it those days, man.
Still killed, and that's the thing. Like, that's why I felt like, granted, I felt like at that point, right, we was getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah, we was, man.
Turning up. But yeah, we was also getting money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when shit went left, and when Octagon closed, and that's when they were like, all right, well, fuck it, we gonna do something different. Yeah, I'm gonna go my way. Y'all gonna go do something. Y'all gotta go do something different.
Yeah. Cause we not taking. This was their chance to look like, yo, this was their chance to say, yo, we're not taking it with us to where we going.
Nah, like what? Yeah, nah. I can honestly say this is, if Octagon was open for maybe like a year or two, just one more year or two, we still would have been on the billing. Ain't no fucking way.
I agree. I think either way, they were going to get rid of us either way.
Yeah, it was one thing, it was one thing or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we would have did or what have you. You know, one way or another, it would have went left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So around that time we shopping for new spots. We was at 760 for like 3 weeks until we figure out our next plan. Yeah,
because I was like, here's the thing with 760, and I tell you about this, kid, and I felt like, at first, like looking back, hindsight 2020, most of the Octagon crowd was there. We could have off the 760 crowd way more than we would have capitalized off the Taj crowd.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're getting older, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to steer away from the turn up guys and it being fucking promoters.
Yeah.
So that was a really big thing for us. You was like, I bet do you wanna grow up and get this real money?
Facts.
Or do you want to still be the turn up guys? You know? And
And
that's crossroads for us.
yeah, and to be honest, a lot of people did not like our decision at all. A lot of people did not like our decision
To this day.
To this day, even to this day. Well, they like it now because the fact that things closed and it meant us doing our spots, but yeah, a lot of people didn't like our decision that we chose to go to a different route when we went to do Taj.
And that was the thing. Not to cut you off, but that was the thing because it took away from what we were known to do, which we were known to be the turn up guys.
Yep, yep.
That's the thing with people. They get used to seeing one side of you. That's all that they're used to because you know what I'm saying. That's all you've shown them. So now you put this new persona on them. They're like, "What the fuck is this? This is not turn up, Ken. This ain't Mr. Your Girl Sands. This is some other shit. I'm not used to it.
Exactly.
I'm not. Oh, word. They don't play reggae like that in this spot. Oh, hell no. I'm out.
Yeah. We lost a lot of crowds when we went to Taj. We lost a lot of crowd when we went to Taj.
Now, this next shout out goes to everybody that still rode with us from Octagon to Taj.
Yeah, I was going to end Rebel to Taj. Yeah.
Like I give a shout out to them because they was with us through both phases. Yeah, we was turning up in Octagon. Yeah, we was turning up in Rebel. But at the same time, when we got to Taj, it was more business because it was less us being under another promoter to figure it out.
Yeah.
And of us representing us. And then now
exactly.
We got to look at it like this. We got to look at it like, all right, granted, we was like that under one brand, but now we're trying to build our brand. Our brand to, do we really want our brand to be represented like that?
Exactly. And one thing that I do have to be comfortable with is letting us go because it taught us to like what to really do. It taught us to where we are, the guy that we are now, and always thinking for that,
Yeah, it was a move made out of it was. I wouldn't say it was made out of like tough love, but it was like a tough lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that too.
I didn't take that at first. I took it as a loss. Like, oh shit, we lost. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I look at that shit as a lesson because I'm like, I bet if we stayed underneath that situation, would we still be the up guys?
Exactly. I think honestly, we stayed. I don't think we would have grown. We would have been the same turn up guy.
We still would have been those guys. We still would have been giving people exactly what we wanted, exactly what they would have thought of us, because that's what we give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to give them something different for them to be like, all right, yeah, that time was cool, but we doing this now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Yeah, and and I'm happy. Even though Taj not perfect, we made some mistakes at Taj too, and some of their stuff that happened at Taj, they made some mistakes as well. With that a lot of people in our crowd didn't like. But
here's my thing, right?
Yeah,
I feel like they were on both ends.
Yeah,
they made some moves we both made some moves that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, right? That's true.
Now, granted, but pre-pandemic, we was in good graces with them.
Yeah, we was. Yeah.
So who's to say, when this whole pandemic situation over and things are opening back up to an extent, we could go back and be like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, we said YPG's retired, but, we could do it. You know what I'm saying? We could move like that. But now we have the knowledge of us building our own shit, number one. Number two, learning from how the pandemic was and learning how we grew from said pandemic to be the guys that we are now. We could move these chains differently now than we would have than our last event we was at there.
Facts.
So I think this is a dope blessing.
I agree. But then also later we started doing Studio 21.
It's crazy. Because the goals for that was crazy. Because Friday, Studio 21, for those who's like outside of New York community that's listening to this, Studio 21 and Taj are literally on the same block.
Facts, yo. Cross the street from each other.
Yeah, it was just a little bit close, a little bit further, a little like 20 paces up that way, but they were literally on the same block. Yeah. So we had people on a Friday night, end up going to Taj because they thought we were doing Taj on Friday
night. On Friday nights, yeah.
We were like, come across the street. We're doing Studio 21 tonight. Tomorrow we at Taj though.
Taj. Yeah, but a lot of our crowd did not like Taj on Saturday. Cause that's upscale. That's upscale night. Apparently.
Yeah. And I feel like with the whole Taj on Friday, with Taj on Saturdays, that in a sense, when we first got there, it put us out of our element.
Yeah, yeah.
We were used to being like the more ratchet, hood type vibes, you know what I'm saying? So when we got to Taj or whatever, it flipped the whole ideology of YPG in itself on its head.
Yeah.
Turn up guys. You can't do half of the shit that you used to do
at all, yo.
And I've tried.
I tried too.
They will not let you do it. I Shorty in Taj, almost put her on my shoulders. I had this 7'3" dude come to me, tell me, "Oh, put her down or get out." I'm like, wait a damn minute. One of her legs is on my shoulder. If I could get this other leg up, I'll put her down. You know what I'm saying? They were like, no, put her down or get out. And I'm
shout out to him, by the way. Shout out to him, by the way. You know who he is. Cool dude, man.
Let me put that other leg on my shoulder. Stop playing games, put it through the table real quick, Dudley boy. Anyway, I try to do those things. I can't do it, So I had to be like, we had to do something different. We had to come up a little different, and I like the fact that we had, shout out to the homie James, Ray's Old School 87 on IG, and man, ass down on IG as well. Shout out to
Andre, fact, man.
We had to do things different. So we wasn't the pick chick up and put on the shoulders act. We was to buy 5 hookahs and put it on one side of the bar act. You know what I'm saying?
The corner boys.
We hit the bar, come in, hit the bar. You get a hookah on the walk-in.
Facts.
And then James come in, he'll get a hookah on the walk-in. I went in, and there was 3 hookahs on the table.
Yeah.
Look that princess. Shout out to Princess too.
Shout out to Princess, yeah. Shout out to Princess. Our favorite amazing bartender, man. Yeah.
She knew what I was gonna order before I even I just looked at her, I was like,
facts, yo.
And she's like, not you too. No.
Facts,
no,
yeah.
no. And I was like, another one.
Facts, yeah, we need to kill it, man. That's kill it, man.
5 hookahs on the bar, and God forbid, let's get a table. Let's get a bottle and shit.
Facts. And then you wait on when that happened. That when the ladies start coming in. Ladies start love when we used to be in that corner, son.
Yeah, that was it. Man. They were like, "Oh my God, what hookah you got?" I'm
like, "Oh my God, what hookah? What drink you got?"
We put all of it in there. Like, yeah, I didn't put all of it. We put all of it.
All of it in there.
And they had them lit, and that was the vibe. That's what it was.
It was, man.
It was a good thing because here it is, we looking at it, right? And it's like looking back at it, we had, like I said before, we had to change the narrative. You know? So we was the turn up boys getting smacked in people's VIP sections and all that. But at this point, we had to be a little bit more classier. Yeah, we're gonna buy out the fucking section of the bar. We're gonna get a section just for ourselves, not because it's a birthday, just because it's showing us who YPG is, That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? After a certain point, however, that we got to the point where it was like, all right, you could take the turn up out. You could take the boys out the turn up, but you can't take the turn up out the boys.
In fact, yeah.
Because you brought this to my attention last week, and I kind of agreed in some aspects. You was a hoe in Taj.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, I was a good thing. I've been single almost through the whole time. I've been in the promoter game, except for 1 year. But we ain't gonna talk about that relationship. But yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you. All right. And I want to preface this by saying this now, because I was promoting at Taj and Katra and stuff while I was in my current relationship.
Yeah, you was.
But which was one thing. But during my past relationships, I wasn't a thought in Taj so much because I knew that's where the money was, and I knew I had to So I couldn't do that there. But Contra, that was another fucking story on the walk-in.
Yeah, Contra was
on the walk-in. I'm like, bro, I didn't even say what up to my bro yet. You know what I'm saying? Funny story. I'm in Contra, right? I pull up the Contra kind of late as shit because I used to live like 10 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? And I pull up, I see kid, I'm like, yo, shit, they go, kid, what up? And before I get to him, like 3-4 ladies on my body. I'm like, what the fuck? What I got on tonight? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's lit. So we sitting there chilling or whatever. I'm like, yo, kid, what's good? Look who I got. I got me some ladies. It was lit. I didn't realize, right? And I can talk about this now because the statute of limitations up. We ain't together no more. Fuck it. Girl at the time was pulling up to the spot. I was like, fuck. Now I gotta look wild. I gotta look wild and available and shit in a short amount of time. You know? So I'm like, all right, yo, I got Ken. You're here. Okay, good. Raymond's on the way, but he'll probably get here before her. He has to take 2 of these girls, or I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? So he came through, took 2 of them girls. You took 2 of the other girls. I was at the bar chilling. So he comes through. Everything's all peachy keen. But that kind of tells you, you know, how big of a hole this was. I was back then. And on top of that, I always made the smooth ghost exit. I was like, all right, we here. We turn up in the club 2:30, 3 o'clock. We turn up in the club 2:30, 3 o'clock. 20 minutes later, I'm ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't hit me up. And then, oh, yo, where you at? I'm like, bro, I'm in my bed. All right. Home. I am in my bed. I'll see you tomorrow, though. But I had to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing, you know? That was the thing. And for me, and I could get into this now because, you know, we haven't been in the clubs a lot. A lot of times, me personally, and I can say this now, I'm in a mindset, right?
Yeah.
Where I go to a venue, right? And I could turn up in a venue. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's 1 o'clock, 1:30.
That's true.
Or it's 3 o'clock, 3:30. And I'd be like, I had enough, I'm out. Especially if we had no birthdays.
Yeah,
I'd be like, like, we ain't got no birthdays tonight?
Either no birthday, no payout, or no girl I'm dancing with, I'm out. Yeah, that basically.
And I will call me an Uber with the quickness.
Yeah.
And don't let it be a summer night either, because that means I ain't gotta go to coat check. I would have sneaked it back.
True. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Catch the Uber at the corner. I'll be at Grand Central in 20 minutes. I won't get the where you at text until like 3:34. By then, I am in Poughkeepsie and get another Uber.
Yeah.
Pull up to the crib. And I'm like, bro, I am tired. I am going in my house and I'm going to chill.
Yeah.
You know, for you to turn up in the crib. It'll be a light little turn up. You know what I'm saying? A little shot, a little nightcap, watch some cheaters. You know what I'm saying? Chill with the babe. And that would be it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, right, before the whole quarantine shit panned off, I was on the mindset of like, I bet, you know, I wanted to do something different, you know, but I still want to promote, you know, but not in a big sense, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, for me, after the pandemic as well, I kind of slowed up as well. You know, you ain't know what happened with me during the pandemic. Yeah. So, you know.
And that's the thing, like, we all have our personal shits, right? Where we're like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, this would be the thing that would slow us down. We spoke about it, but we never felt like it would come to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the time when we spoke about it, you know what I'm saying? But it gets out, you know what? This might be the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now if we would I mind coming back after the pandemic pandemic opens up back, everything open back up? Yeah, I would. I would do a couple of events, see what I feel about it, you know, see where it is. I don't want to say that YPG is dead and buried, but you know, because it's never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's only buried when we say it's buried.
Yeah. And I don't think it's done yet, you know? I'm just not doing these secret clubs because one is illegal as fuck right now. Cowboy Cuomo's going back and forth trying to catch y'all. And I'm not going to put myself or the good name of YPG in the mix of that. You know what I'm saying? Or You know, I want us to do this. If we're gonna come back, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We're gonna
And
come
I
back.
mean,
We're gonna
yeah,
come back. Going to be just as big as we was before we left. You know,
I agree. And
promoters watching this shit right now. Just because we not out here, we not in Atlanta trying to catch COVID. You know what I'm saying? We're not in Miami trying to catch COVID. You know, or we're not in these fucking backwater parties in Brooklyn. We did those in 2008. It was called the Bashment. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
Just because we ain't doing that doesn't mean we dead. We ain't retired. We just sitting idly by waiting for that time when shit open back up. So will we.
So I mean, for me, I know I mentioned on the Premier Boy podcast, but we're gonna get to that in a few. That I retired from the promoters game, and I'm gonna say this now. I'm through here. And I'm not sure if I go do full time like I did back in the day, like I did before the pandemic. But I'm through here. I ain't left yet. I ain't left yet.
Because here's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I talk about with growth. Like, you know, there's certain situations that's going to end up helping you grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's certain, like with the whole, like with my whole, like the relationship now I'm in, you know, it's like a big thing. There's certain big moves that I'm making, you know? So for me, I could sit there and do this shit every week, you know? But I want to come home to my shorty and chill on weekends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do want to go out and get this bread because we were getting bread before the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were getting good bread too.
So that's
good
my,
money.
that was my thing that was my thing. So either or, you know, I'll go back, you know, I don't mind going back, but I still, you know what I'm saying? I still got to keep in mind of the people that I care about and the stuff I want to build.
Yeah, I agree, son. I agree. And when that time is right, when that time is time to come back, we be back. But I want to touch on a little bit something. You do got your own little business. You know, talk about Shop by Sands.
All right, so I know we discussed this on like one of the first episodes of the MrGentleman podcast, but Shop by Sands is basically my event photography situation where I would go to different events. I could shoot your events, I could shoot your birthday, your wedding, your kid's birthday, you know, your shoot your funerals, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. I do all of that. You know what I'm saying? It started off with me just taking good pictures for our friends on their phones, you know, and that was a kind of a big thing for me. So I wanted to figure out can I get into the situation where I'm not just promoting, but I'm also doing, photography in the clubs. Shout out to the homie Rich God that helped put me on to a few events at the time, you know, before like pre-pandemic.
Yeah, shout out to Rich. Yeah, shout out to Rich, man. Shout out to Rich.
You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely got to follow him for his content. Shit is fire.
It is, yeah.
So basically with that, I would shoot, you know, I used to shoot the after work spots at Jimmy's, things like that, you know, and I would shoot that. It was a dope party. And fun fact, we could have got that spot at Jimmy's.
Yeah.
After work situation, you know, and that would have led right into a Catra. You know what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
So we could have. I feel like with the promoter shit, that's why I don't want to retire because there's a lot of stuff that we left on the table, and I don't want it to be like blazeup clique where we leave a lot of stuff on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if we do come back, let's not leave this stuff on the table. Let's, you know, see what we can make out of it. And if we can't make nothing out of it, then I'm fine with it because we did a lot already.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
we did. Yeah, we brother next year. We just made 9 years in December, New Year's Eve. So yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot. But one thing I want to have our the Premier Fair event that we've been planning for years.
And then on top of that, I don't mind shooting that either. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of photography and stuff like that. That's one of my main situations. And I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I also do like regular photo shoots, you know, with certain people. I did a photo shoot with you again.
Oh yeah. I definitely need another one, son.
Well, yeah, listen, come through. You know, I already got a couple events lined up coming into the February months, you know. So that's gonna be a good look. We could definitely set that up.
Nice.
For those who are interested in for me to do like their photography work, you can reach me at Shot by Sands on IG. That's SHOTBYSANDS. You know, we could definitely get to working together. You know.
All right. And now let's talk about this show that we got, the Premier Boy Podcast.
Oh man.
And also on your episode when you was on my show, we announced the Premier Boy Podcast back in March of 2019. Premier Boy Podcast was released on September of 2019. Let's talk about how that got started. Let's talk about how that got started, man.
All right, so originally we started off with your podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And with that, I was like, all right, you know, this sounds like a pretty dope situation. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm like, all right, we could do the Premier Boys. We thought about getting like a situation with you, me, and Roddy. You know what I'm saying?
And the big remember originally put me in a big studio. They put me in actual studio, but it didn't work out. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And so we're like, all right, we could do it on Anchor and everything, you know. Shout out to Anchor putting out good podcasts, you know, daily. So it works out. So basically, we were just trying to come up with topics where we could talk about things like that on the Premier Boy podcast. And the crazy thing is, right?
Yeah.
With the way that whole situation was situated, we had it was really two versions of the Premier Boys podcast. Just like there was two versions of Teddy Overload.
Yeah.
You know, we started off doing like just us, you, me, and Roddy and everything like that. And the vibe was good, you know. And we kept meeting up to do that. But then once again, COVID. And now we're regulated to the house and everything like that. And that's when we had the quarantine series. On a lot with that, you know. And even though, like, honestly, I like the Premier Boy podcast with it because it's like I don't feel like I'm out here doing an actual podcast. Like I'm out here just having a conversation. Which, you know what I'm saying? And we just talking and chatting it up about different subjects, you know? So that was a big thing. We kind of hooked up the game a little bit better at the end of the quarantine series.
Yeah.
Add the addition of Alvin in there, you know.
Yeah, we had him in the 1 year anniversary episode of the Premier Boy podcast.
Yeah, and he just came on as a guest.
Yeah, he was just as a guest.
You're just gonna do the guest spots real quick and then keep it pushing. But what he was talking about in the content and what he was bringing was like really dope. Yeah. You know, like we gotta keep him.
Yeah. But we work with. He was a part of the blazeup clique. Like, why not? You know?
Yeah, it came like that's when everything I feel like came full circle. You come over with the blazeup clique, right? And then now we doing all this other stuff, and he wasn't really. And I wish he was, but he wasn't really with us doing the whole promotion between the promotion arc, you know. And now you're getting into the podcast arc, and now here we're back again, you know.
Yeah. Like fun fact, he was a radio host at NYU.
That's what it was. The Really Illy brothers. You know, shout out to them for that. Shout out to LIU. You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing.
Yeah, LIU. Yeah.
Funny thing though. Fun fact about LIU. Was it that beat?
Welcome to College.
I did the Welcome to College beat in LIU. I did that.
Oh wow! Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah. That whole beat was made in LIU.
Oh,
we was there from I was in there from 6 to 1 a.m. and LIU making that beat. You know, and it was crazy because that's when I was one of the first times I was making actual beats in a real ass studio. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
It was wild official. You know, I definitely got on my game. I definitely got in my bag on that one. You know, so it was dope.
Yeah.
As far as the Premier Boys podcast was, after Alvin got on, like JR would say, you know, business definitely picked up.
It did slowly, especially when we had the R&B is Dead episode. That episode was our biggest episode to this day. It's still one of our biggest episodes. To this day, it's still one of our biggest episodes. Like,
and that's what it was. You know, I felt like this, right? Like, we have our views and thoughts on a lot of things, you know? And you can't really hear that too good while we're promoting, and we really didn't put it in our music like that, you know.
Yeah.
So when it came down to it, we was how I put it. The whole podcast situation gave us a platform to actually, you know, put out our stuff. Now, granted, we was doing blazeup TV, which was dope at that time.
Fact. We was.
But
Yeah, we was.
this was a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This was like a different vibe. You know, so that's why I kind of respect this version of us a lot more than the promoter version, because promoter version, we was like in the middle of this and the whole turn up vibe, you know, turn up vibe.
Yeah.
It's like, now we know what we got to do, and now, you know, it's just a matter of us getting there and doing it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm heavily looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, me too. But one thing that happened is y'all haven't checked out, is y'all living under the rock, and y'all haven't checked out the season 1 finale. DJ Retro left the show, and it left all of us shocked. And we haven't really spoke about this yet. How do you feel about him leaving? How the way he left, I should say.
That could have been done in a text. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Here's my thing with Roddy. I got love for the homie Roddy. You know what I'm saying? We've been rocking for like damn near 20 years. That is my bro to the fullest. Having said all that, I feel like, you know, you don't wait till the end of a season finale to be like, yo, I'm out, and we don't give you no talk time. You know what I'm saying? You know me. You listen closely to the podcast, right? I'm like, what do you think, Roddy? You know, where we at with it, right? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, if you're going to handle certain things, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. But that shit should be handled in the text.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fact that everything that he was doing that episode, from that episode and the last episode before that, was very unprofessional for me, man. I was just like, yo, what you doing, son?
Yeah, like we could have talked about that, you know what I'm saying? However, you know, I'm an understanding guy. You know what I'm saying? As everybody knows, I'm an understanding guy. I might not give a fuck all the time. I am an understanding guy. Here's my proposition for Roddy, and I really hope you're listening to this. And we're going to get into this right now anyway, because, you know, it's just me.
Yeah. Oh, but before we get to the but even though Roddy is through working with me for a little bit on the old school show, even though I try to bring it up to him, like, yo, why you left the show? Like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's just do this and then I'm out. I'm like, oh, he gotta do it. I'm like, okay, Roddy. I'm like, wow. Like, wow, Roddy.
Oh,
He just gone savage, man. He just hopefully
that's crazy, bro.
Which is why we're gonna announce this here. Season 2, February 11th. New day, Wednesdays. Every Wednesday now. February 11th. Premier Boy Podcast Season 2 starts.
You already know we back with it.
Also, we are looking for a host for Season 2 to replace Roddy.
You get a host. We need somebody that's energetic, that you will be able to jump out the page with us, you know, and actually, you know, contribute to this journey that we on called the Premier Boys Podcast.
Yeah, and also, you know, Miss Mademoiselle, if you want to come back to the show, if you want a job as a full-time host, let me know.
We got an opening.
We got an opening.
But, you know,
but before we go overboard, you say you got a proposition for him.
Okay. So during this quarantine, specifically during this whole Premier Boys Podcast Season 1, Season 2 break, one thing I actually wanted to get into was doing my own podcast. Right?
Nice.
So I'm announcing right here on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV that Kink Talk with Aaron Sands is coming soon. It's a brand new podcast with yours truly, Aaron Sands, only Aaron Sands, giving you basically, you know, lend me your ear 15, 20 minutes of your day. I'll give you my thoughts on today's current topics, popular topics, you know, current events, you know, things like that. You know, I'll give you my 2 cents on that. Basically, things that we don't touch in Premier Boys Podcast, we will definitely be touching on King Talk with Aaron Sands. Also, I'll be giving advice for those, you know, who might be going through it, those who going through relationship stuff that might, you know, being the fact that I'm the only one in the Premier Boys podcast who's acting in an active relationship right now, I feel like I'm able to give you a little bit of, drop a couple of gems on you on your daily travels. So yes, that's King Talk with Aaron Sands, coming soon right through the MrGentleman Podcast Network. But before I get into that, I do want to pose a proposition for the boy Roddy. I know you've been feeling away. And I'm not even talking to you right now. Okay, I'm looking right in the camera, talking to Roddy. I know you've been feeling away about this. You know what I'm saying? About that abrupt departure from the Premier Boys podcast. You know, I know you've been in your feelings. I know I've been seeing it. You know, I've been seeing it seep from your pores. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Me, what I'm willing to do, I'm willing to give you I'm going to be willing to give you not a platform, but an opportunity to tell us what the hell was that at the end of season 1. You know what I'm saying? So for the first episode of the King Talk with Aaron Sands, I'm willing to open my platform up for you to come on and speak out. Why'd you leave us like that, man? What's going on? You know, what was the reasons? You know, we could talk about it as bros. This ain't going to be a regular interview. It's just going to be a conversation. One-on-one, you and me, we could talk about it. You know, I extend that invitation, and I'll extend it up until the premiere of King Talk with Aaron Sands. So it's up, the ball's in your court. You already know how you reach me. You know, we could talk about it on text, or we could talk about it on the platform. You know, so I really would love to. I really would love to have you on this show, man, so we could sit down and discuss this. Then maybe we could come to terms. You know.
Jeez, man. Yeah. I hear it here first. Mr. Aaron Sands presents King Talk podcast. New podcast coming real soon. DJ Retro, he invites you on the show, man. You better answer back.
Calling you out.
He calling you out, man. I by the way, I'm an executive producer of King Talk, so I got the got the honor to helping him with the show. And y'all won't see my camera. Y'all won't see my camera, but I can't wait for the show to drop. I'm looking forward to it. And
man, we're gonna have real conversations, man. Like everybody I feel like this, right? Everybody want to get interviewed, right? But nobody wants to have a conversation, especially right now when we're so divisive. Nobody wants to have to sit down and have that conversation and be like, well, listen, this is what it is. What can we do to get, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to have to sit down and just talk. I'm willing to have to sit down, Are you?
Well, yo, Retro, hit him up. But yo, before we go, we're gonna play a
quick thing though. You said something on Facebook that rubbed me the wrong way.
Wait, what I said?
I was on Facebook chilling, smoking, minding my business, right? And it was a question you posed, and it kind of rubbed me a little bit. You were like, if you had given an opportunity, would you start your own podcast? If somebody gave you an opportunity to start your own podcast, would you do it, or would you let fear take over you? And I felt like that was kind of a loaded question. I feel like that was a loaded question. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, granted, with the podcast situation, and I'm dealing with this now because I'm starting my own. It's not much more about the fear. It's more the preparation. If you do a podcast, eventually you'll get people who hear you and and hear you out on said podcast, right?
Yeah.
But nobody really understands the method it takes to prepare and set up for just the first episode.
Trust me, son. 2 years ago, as of this Wednesday, 2-year anniversary of MrGentleman podcast is this Wednesday. Me preparing for my first. Remember, you remember I talked to you about my first episode, and that was a scary journey, son. A lot of things went to my head. Didn't think people would listen, how people think about me, and stuff like that. But I managed to get it through, and it's not an easy job. But what I talk about let me talk about that status real quick. That status was more towards like people who is like artists and who want to expand their brand, who don't want to, who choose not to. You know, that was the opportunity for that. You know, it wasn't for those who want to start a podcast. It was for those who keep crying about, oh, I want to expand my brand into music and stuff like that, but choose not to. But you to stay in the same place. That was about. You know, so I want to clear it up. You know, and okay. I'm glad you brought it up, bro. I'm glad you brought it up.
I seen it. I was like, you know what? Nah, I could just easily write other this post, you know, and then start some social media shit. And then I thought, Ron, you're not even a social media guy. You know what I'm saying? You're more old school. You know, you got an interview with this dude coming up soon, right? Pull up on him there. See what happens. See what he says. Let's talk about it. And that's honestly, that's what King Talk with Aaron Sanders is all about.
Exactly. That was a little preview. That was a little preview of that.
Yeah. There's going to be a section called Shit That Rubbed Me the Wrong Way. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be shit. It's going to be about stuff that rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, we're going to have main topics that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we might talk about politics. Yeah, I might talk about sports. Yeah, I might talk about my nets. You know what I'm saying? But also, there's going to be some things that I see on a book or I see on a gram, like these bum-ass influencers, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm going to get into, you know, that rubs me the wrong way. And I'm going to speak on it.
Yeah. Crazy. But yo, before we go, we're gonna play a little short game called 3 random topics. Well, I named 3 topics and you discuss it on a short and long response. Yeah, so I'm gonna give you 3 topics, right? All right, first one is, what is your favorite thing about the club?
You trying to get me in trouble on this fucking podcast? Like my girl don't hear this shit. All right, one of my favorite things about the club, right? Think about it like this. You work like 40, 50 hours a week, right? Doing whatever it is you do. You know what I'm saying? My work is kind of strenuous for the most part.
Yeah.
So after a hard week of working and grinding and getting this paper, you know what I'm saying? You want to do some things to unwind. You know what I'm saying? You want to do some things to chill, to let that edge off. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you can do it at home, you know, but then you always home.
Facts.
You know? For me personally, the best part about the club is the fact that I get to turn up with my bros. You know what I'm saying? I get to turn up with my bros and get this money. Yeah, there's some baddies in that club, bro. Let me tell you. You know what I'm saying? There are some baddies. But, you know, at the same time, I get the chance to chill with my bros and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's a big thing for me.
All right. Next one. Donald Trump.
Fuck that nigga. Deuces. Nah, bro. Nah. Like, that ass, though, like, I hate... All right. I'm not just as mad. I'm not mad about Donald Trump as I'm mad about his followers. Now, if you would have said Donald Trump followers, I would have had a story for that. But Donald Trump as a man and as himself, as y'all president, fuck that nigga. He can suck a dick. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down.
All right. And last one, give me one word of why people should listen to the Premier Boy podcast.
Aaron Sands, what? Come on. See this? Come on. But honestly, I can't just give you one word. I give you one statement. We touch on topics that most podcasters don't. We say things that most podcasters won't. Yes, it's the truth. A lot of people love to skirt around the truth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We, between a combination of you, me, Alvin, and whoever the fuck gonna be on season 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, we give it to you raw, unadulterated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, like that'll be my one statement. We give it to them raw and unadulterated. So it's like, you know, if you want to come there for some foo-foo shit, you want to go to a podcast where you got, you know, people are, you know, how can I put it? People would tell you the shit that you want to hear because you like it. Yeah, go to that podcast. You want to hear some real truth shit, some real live truth shit? Come to us. You know, come to Premier Boy Podcast. Stop playing games. Hit that like and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And while you at it, hit that like and subscribe button for Mr. Gentleman's Lifestyle Podcast. Hit the like and subscribe button for that. And when my shit gets on, King Talk with Aaron Sands, y'all better hit the like and subscribe button for that too, or else y'all gonna be the next subject on my shit that I don't like section.
Yes, and we're going to end it here. Thank you, Mr. Sands, for coming on the show, or Mr. Gentleman Like the Pocket TV. You already know, bro. We talk a lot. We will bring you back for the Royal Rumble prediction in 2 weeks. So,
You already know what it is. Road to WrestleMania. Always talk about the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? You got the head of the table out here. Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns out here. Ready to defend his title again. Against Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Kevin Owens. We got Drew versus Goldberg. Maybe it Drew COVID is COVID free by then.
Pray for him. Pray for Drew McIntyre for that COVID.
Yeah, and we don't know all the rest of the matches yet, but we would know by when they get close to the event, so we're gonna do that. So you ain't know, bro. Drop your social media where everybody can reach you.
You already know what it is. You can follow me at Aaron Sands Premier. That's AARONSANDSPREMIERE. That's on the gram. Also, you can follow my photography brand Shot by Sands at SHOTBYSANDS. Those are two brands that you can't forget because I'm all over the place on IG. I'm also on Facebook, all that other good shit. I ain't doing the Snapchat shit because I love my relationship.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Promote with Podcast Season 2, February 11th.
Season 2. The Real is back. You already know what it is. That's the model for the season. The Real is back. And that's what it's going to be. Also, look out for King Talk with Mr. Aaron Sands coming soon. We'll be dropping soon. Hopefully, no foo-foo shit, no frills, just me and a mic, 20 minutes, dope ass topics, real ass shit too.
Yes, and thank you, and we'll be right back.
Deuces.
I just want to take the time to thank everybody for watching the latest episode of MrGentleman Like the TV. Thanks to my special guest, to the bro, Mr. Aaron Sands, from the Premier Way Podcast. The Premier Way Podcast return February 11th. So stay tuned for that. Also, look out for his podcast show, King Talk Podcast, coming real soon. And you already know, if y'all want to be a guest on Mr. Gentleman Like That Pocket TV, y'all can DM me at Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, KEN _Mr. MR Gentleman GENTLEMAN. Or y'all could send me a bio about yourself and everything that he did to my email, KenYPGENT@gmail.com. And yes, more episodes of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast TV coming real soon. Yes, and more YouTube only exclusive. And don't forget to check out Mr. Gentleman Like The Podcast Season 4 is out now. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music, and many more. And thank y'all and have a good night. You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 4. Cheer!